Hello. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me, and we'll wait a few more minutes until more people join us. Meanwhile, I will refresh here my chat box to see what's happening there. Yay, I'm so excited you're here. Right. Let me write here, just a second. So if you are seeing this, let me know. And if you can hear me, click on the play button so you can start seeing me, because we're live. No one yet. I hope you can hear and see me. Let's see, we are supposed to be live. What's going on? Let's see. Oh, yay. Hi, Sue. Great. Yay, Joanne, you came out of your whatever you were hiding from. Great. Okay, guys, we'll wait a few more minutes. I'm super excited about this. I stayed up really late last night to put everything together. And instead of a PDF that I thought I would give you, I actually created a page on my website. I'll give you the link later. And that's even what I'm going to use today for the presentation. And you'll have everything there. You can copy and do whatever you want. There's the sales page and the challenge page and lots of goodies and my Facebook ads, and you can take it all. Okay. I really appreciate you joining, Joanne, even though you're supposed to be hiding in your hole. So thank you so much. I hope you will enjoy it and it will be worth it. So guys, just to, a few minutes until we wait for everyone, tell me where you're from, what's your story, why you're here, are you in the middle of a launch? You're welcome, Nicola. I haven't shared yet. It's coming. So guys, tell me what's up with you. I am, as you can see, for those of you who have attended some of my webinars, my orchids are still alive, although barely. I'm very sad about that. I'm hoping they will bloom again in a few months or years. Other than that, everything is cool here in Canada. No winter yet. That's good. Where are you from, guys? Let me know. Okay, Nicola, this is very exciting. So I have not really launched anything myself until this launch. So this is good. It's exactly for people like us. Okay, hi, Elisa. Hi, Glenna. Hey, BC, woo! Oh, it's raining. Well, it's actually raining here, but it's not cold, so that's not too bad. Yeah, I've never launched before. I have a lot of online businesses, but I've never done an official launch for a service or digital-based product. And yes, hi, Andrea, again. Okay, guys, really 2 more minutes and we will start. I don't want to waste your time. Hey, hi, Stephanie. No, is it Stephanie? What was it? I saw, I don't know. What was it? I thought I saw Stephanie before. Now I can't see her. Okay, guys. So I think we're going to start. What I'm going to do is share the screen with you. So I want you to tell me if you can see the screen. Wait just a second. I think this is what I want to show you. Okay. Guys, tell me if you can see the screen. Now I'm going to check if you can see the screen. Tell me if you can see the screen. I will refresh my chat box here on my phone so I don't mess up with the screen. Okay. Wait. La la la. A duchy. Ooh. Okay. Hi, Ton. Great. When you say yes, 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 I'm assuming, hi, Yasmin. I'm assuming you're talking about the screen. Can you see where it says Barrett All Launch Report? And let me give you some background first. Is that what you see on the screen? Yes, you can see it. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, so I'm assuming everyone can see it. Just a small tip from earlier webinars. If it starts getting blurry, you can watch it through YouTube. Click on it and go straight to YouTube and change the view to high def or 720 or whatever it is there. That should work fine. It's fuzzy. So Sue, yeah, okay. Sue, you're not doing anything wrong. You can't be on YouTube and on the chat box on the same window. If you have your phone, maybe watch one of them on the phone and the box and, you know, on your computer or something like that. Okay, so Joe, you're asking if I worked with SOL, with Sold Out Launch, and I actually talk about it, so you will see in a second. Oh, I bet you see the bottom of the screen here. You can, guys, you can actually go to this page, but I don't want to confuse you too much. We'll just go over it during the webinar, and then you'll get the link for it, and you can spend as much time as possible or as you want on it. Okay, so I'm going to start, guys. And I will refresh my chat box every now and then. So if you suddenly lose me and yeah, I'm talking to myself, someone please tell me. Hi, Carlise. Okay, so let's talk about the launch. So I'm giving you the numbers immediately. I'm holding back nothing. I bear it all. I was telling my husband I'm getting dressed for the webinar. He's like, why are you getting dressed? You said you're going to bear it all. So I'm bearing it all with the launch, not myself, but you can ask me anything. So a little bit of background. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've never worked for anyone else. And that means that I've developed a lot of businesses. And since 2003, pretty much all my businesses are online. But they've mostly been physical product related. If some of you know, my big business is actually a cloth diaper business. I manufacture cloth diapers, and I have a brand with my business partner, Sarah, and we sell mainly in the US and Canada, but that is a very physical product, but we do everything online. We do not have a store, and we rarely work with retailers. It's all online. So we've had that for almost 6 years now, but I've had all kinds of businesses. I sold wedding dresses, vacation packages to Costa Rica, affiliate. I've done eBay. I've done it all really, but I've never actually launched a digital product. So to put it a little bit in context, my product, for those of you who don't know, and this is not a pitch in any way, is called No Hassle Website. That's my main product, and it's a $99 product. You can check my website if you want to know more about it. But I started that 6 months ago. Guys, wait just a second. I want to see. I'm not sure. Well, just a second. Let me see here. Seeing now. Okay, I'll stay on this screen. So my $99 product, the No Hassle Website, is available on my website at all times. It's an evergreen product. And I've been working on another product called No Hassle Membership and Course Platform. And my original plan was to just add it to the website and have it as an evergreen product. I did not think of a launch, although I've been seeing launches for, 13 years I've been doing online businesses. I've been seeing people doing online launches, but I don't know why. I thought a lot of people need it all the time. Why would I do an actual launch and not just put it on the website? But then I decided to do an actual website. Guys, let me just refresh here so I know I'm not talking to myself. What happened was I am very, very active and love the group by Bushra Azar. if you don't know who she is, I can talk about her all day, which I will not do. But Bushra from the Persuasion Revolution has created a product called Sold Out Launch, or SOL. And she was launching that back in July or August. And I did not purchase the product, but Bushra is so amazing and gives so much value that I watch all her webinars, and I've learned a lot from that. And so I used her Sold Out Launch framework to launch my own product. So it suddenly occurred to me I should actually do a launch and have an open and close cart. So I put all my efforts into a short time and create urgency and scarcity and just do it all and do it right. So I was following Bushra's framework 100%, but at the same time, her frameworks allows you to modify it and do what works, what makes sense for your business. So it's not exactly everything that she talks about, but the framework itself is exactly the same. Yes, Joanne, big Bushra fans. I love Bushra, and I had the pleasure of meeting her in person. She's just amazing. Everything you think, if you know her, is even better in real life. So that's what triggered me to think about actually doing a launch. So I decided that I should create a framework just like Bushra does and plan how to launch my second product. That was the No Hassle membership and course platform, and do it the right way. That was very important to me because I keep on seeing people launching and then pretty much disappear. I always think that it was unsuccessful, or it was very, very slow, or they just launched to the sound of crickets. And it's a very, very sad and discouraging, and I didn't want that. Okay, so that was the background of everything. And now I will tell you what I actually did and where I started from. So at that point in September, when I was pre-launching, I already have been in business with No Hassle for about 6 months, but I have the numbers here. Okay, so check this out. I had a list. I really didn't have any email list. I had less than 100 customers. About 60 of my customers were in my Facebook support group, so that were more engaged and I could communicate with them easier and faster. I had a Facebook business page that had less than 100 likes. I can't remember, but it was probably like 30 or something like that. And I checked everything for this webinar. I had 58 completely unengaged people that downloaded a few freebies that I offered in the last 6 months. So by all means, I had nothing. I had no list. I had no followers. I had nothing. And in that sense, I started from zero. However, and this is very, very important, and I think very crucial for you if you are trying to launch, and I talk about it at the end where I will go over some conclusions with you. I did have a few things going for me, and they're very, very important. So first of all, my products were outrageously awesome. And I say that with confidence. I knew I was onto something big when I started the No Hassle brand. And I knew that the product will sell itself. I just need to get to the right people and for them to trust me. So that was a huge thing for me. Hey, Debbie, yay. Okay, I'm just checking up that everyone's here and that you can hear me. So I had my product, my original product, and then the project I was going to launch. I also had a few dozen customers, paying customers that already bought my regular No Hassle product. So that was validation, but also a small community, a little tribe. And some of them are actually the ones that asked me to develop the launch product. Okay, so people were waiting for it and they were eager to get it, but just a handful of people. And then what I think was very, very big for me is that I didn't suddenly show up out of nowhere in the the groups that I was in. I was very involved for the last couple of years with several online Facebook groups that I really love, some of which don't allow any promotion at all, and some of them, like Bushra's, are very open and welcoming, and you can share your opt-ins and launches and products. So, but I was very, very active in those groups for the last couple of years. So I didn't just show up in these groups out of nowhere. People that spend time in those groups knew me, at least, some of the core active and engaged people in those groups. So while I didn't have an actual list and didn't have followers, I had people that knew who I was. And that is very, very crucial. And I'll come back to it later. Guys, so far, are we okay? Is everything clear? I'm refreshing here to see what's going on. You don't have to read everything I've written here. Do it later. I'm pretty much summarizing and elaborating in some cases on what's written. So let me refresh here. What do we have? Just a second. My chat is refreshing. Okay, no one is talking. I hope that doesn't mean that you can't hear me. Deb is the last one I see here. I hope that was a few minutes ago. Please tell me that you're alive. Hey, Vivian, you didn't miss much. All good. So, okay, good. So going back to the actual launch. So that was where I started from. So it's zero in many ways, but completely not a newbie and not just, telling people that I exist. And that's very, very crucial. I will, like I said, I will come back to it at the end. But basically what I want to tell you is you don't need a big list and you don't need a lot of followers, but you cannot just show up and launch. You have to invest a few months in becoming visible and known and give a lot of value in Facebook groups and whatever communities you are involved in. Okay, so that's very important. Hey, Gwen, yay! Hey, Nick, yay! How nice. Thank you for joining. So let's talk about what I actually did. So for the pre-launch stage, I'm talking about the several weeks leading to the actual big event that I did that was a 5-day challenge and then opening the carts. So I'm talking now about 2, 3, 4 weeks before the actual launch. But I've already had everything planned, and I estimate about 80% of everything was already ready, and I had everything, the framework and everything was, I had a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do every week and almost every day until I opened the cart. But not everything was ready, of course, and I had to work a lot during that month. So just to to correct this here, I say here at the top how I made $7,429 in 8 days with less than 100 people and $99 product. This is 100% true, but I worked more than 8 days. Okay, just let's get that out of the way. Okay, so going back to the pre-launch, what I did in the weeks leading to the actual launch of the challenge that I'll talk about was I actively posted, answered, and helped several times a day in my favorite Facebook groups. So I didn't just, spend some time in the groups. I actively searched for subjects and questions that people that I could help people with, and people were asking about, and they were unrelated necessarily to my product in any way. For example, a lot of people have questions about Facebook ads, and I have a lot of experience with that, so I like to answer about Facebook ads. General questions about WordPress and other tech-related questions. I'm usually on top of what's available in technology, and I can answer people. So I did that very, very intensively. I think I actually had a point of answering about at least 5 people a day, like not just, dropping a line, but really, really helping and connecting with someone, about 5 people a day for the weeks leading to the launch. And that the main purpose of this was visibility and just really good karma to put it out there to help people. And sometimes I help them even with Zoom chats and with going into their website and fixing stuff. Like, I did whatever it took, and I had zero agenda other than visibility and helping people. So that was very, very important. And I did that for 2-3 weeks leading to the actual launch. Guys, I'm refreshing here just to see that we're all good. The other thing I did was created a series of social media posts. This is part of Bushra's sold out launch framework. And I really liked it, and it turned out really, really well. When I spend time in the groups, a lot of times I see stuff that I simply don't agree with. Now, I don't like to argue with everyone, and it's not about, who's right and wrong, but I do have a strong position on things that are not necessarily the conventional mainstream opinion. So what I did was I created a series of 9 posts. I called them "You Have Permission." And here you can see, can you see this "You Have Permission" post screenshot that I put here? Meanwhile, I'll drink some water, and you tell me in the chat box if you can see the "You Have Permission." Even if you can't read the details very well, just want to know that you can see it. And this will all be available through the link that I'll send you later that has everything you see here on the page. Okay, I'm refreshing here. Okay, great, Nicola, you can see it. So I've attached 4 examples of this "You Have Permission" series that I did. And what was interesting about this was that I could post it even don't allow any promotion. You can't even put, you can't put your name sometimes. Or so in this case, I had the hashtag, which I just invented for this series. It's not like I actually used it in other places. And even in one of the groups, I didn't put the hashtag or the name because it was against their rules. But still, I wrote these "You Have Permission" posts, and I posted them every day for about 9 days. So what happened after a while, people would respond and say, I can't wait for tomorrow's post, and I'm loving these posts, because it was a series and it resonated with people. It had a really strong effect. I don't know if you can see it, but this specific post was the best one. 278 people liked it. It was very, very, it resonated with a lot of people. If you can't hear it, it just says, if you can't see what it says, it just says, "You have permission to be happy making in a year what some others claim they make in a month." And then I elaborate a little bit and tell about myself. So this is a great opportunity to be visible and share in a group, even if you're not allowed to say anything about your business, post links, or promote anything. It's still, people notice it. And if you say something important, and if you put your philosophy, your business philosophy out there, and you stand for something, a lot of times controversial, don't be afraid of that, because the people that it resonates with will instantly love you. Okay, so immediately you will connect with the right people. So as long as you are honest and tell your own truth and not just come up with something to be provocative, then I think it's a great way to be visible in groups. And although I'm not huge on social media posts, like I never have a good plan for it, I think it's pretty easy to sit down and plan a series of 5 or 10 posts that you can then put out there in the groups where you're involved and you're familiar with, and people and your audience spends time to, without ever mentioning your business. So that was very big, and I think that created a good vibe, and people got to know me even in groups that I'm a little less known in. The other thing I did to support this was I prepared my personal Facebook profile and Facebook business page. And what do I mean by that? I meant that because I couldn't put links, and that was not about, promoting something specific, I assumed that people would click on my name, and then they would need to find the right information. So that's what I mean. In my profile and Facebook page, I put the links to my website, to my Facebook page, and links to sign up for things that were related to my launch. So I updated this during the launch. So for example, when I had my I wanted people to sign up for the VIP list, I added that to my Facebook page and my Facebook profile. And when I wanted them to sign up for the challenge, I changed the link and I had them go to the sign up page for the link for the challenge. Does that make sense so far, guys? I'm going to refresh here again. I'm going to drink some water. Let me know, guys, how we're doing. La la la. It's not refreshing. Just a second. Okay, I don't see any updates since Carlise. Okay, good. Tiffany, thank you. All good. Okay, excellent. Sorry, I just don't want to talk to myself. So that was very big, and this is preparation, and do not skip this stage. First of all, I think mentally you're preparing the ground for it, and also yourself to you can come in a different position to present any offer you have if you've already given, if you've already served, if you've already engaged with other people. So don't skip this. Think about some kind of a social media post series that you can do, and start posting it in groups. Just make sure that it's all within the rules of that group. And yeah, and that really worked well for me. The last thing I did was created a VIP waiting list page for my product. Okay, so those were all preparations. So if anyone is starting to look into what I'm doing or asking questions, I have somewhere to send them to. Okay, so that was the pre-launch stage. My original plan was to write a really awesome blog post that is related to my launch product, and then share that and even promote it with Facebook ads. So I have people coming to read the blog post without signing up for anything or opting into anything, but then I can retarget them through the Facebook pixel and bring them to the product itself. However, that blog, although it was a great blog in my opinion, failed miserably. People just didn't want to click on it, and I understood immediately that plan is not going to work. So that failed miserably. At the same time, one of my clients mentioned that she just participated in a challenge, and she shared with me a little bit about how the challenge was designed, and I immediately fell in love with that idea, and I knew it suddenly clicked, and I knew that's what I need to do to bring people, to attract people, to build my list for the launch. And as it often happens with me, I have some incubation period, and then something clicks and I see it. I see the entire puzzle. All the pieces come together, and I know exactly what I need to do. And that's what happened with the challenge. I knew exactly how I want to do the challenge, and I knew exactly how it's going to lead to my product, which in a very natural and organic way. And that was key to the success. Okay, so let's talk about the 5-day membership and course strategy challenge. Before we do that, though, guys, let me know in the box if you participated in my strategy challenge. Just curious. Okay, no crickets. That's great. Vivian, you saw those posts. Great. Yeah, it was the social media posts worked out really well, and some of them got only like 10 likes, and some got, one got 278, but most of them got a few dozen people, which is a lot actually in many groups. You don't often see posts that get so much engagements and comments. Okay, so you guys did not. And Ton and Steph, I'm guessing you did not. Carlise, you did. Great. Glenna, you did. Alisa, yes, great. Donna, hey, Donna. Hi, didn't see you before. Awesome. Okay, so let me tell you about the 5-day membership and course strategy challenge. I'm not going to get into my product. This is not about my product, but basically my product is the software that you need for if you want to start a membership or membership site or course, if you want to deliver and launch that it's the software itself where you're going to present and deliver everything. But the piece that comes before that is you actually have to create your course, come up with a strategy, with a marketing strategy, with content strategy, all of that. That comes before my product. So that was my idea, right? And I suggest you do the same, even if you're not going to do a challenge. If you want to attract the right people to your product by offering some kind of a freebie, an opt-in, a video series, a challenge, it doesn't matter what you want. Think about what comes right before your product. What do they actually need to do? Where do they need to be to want to buy your product? And I think that was a big a factor in the success. It led the membership and course strategy challenge led so naturally to my product that I barely had to do anything. It was the next thing. It was like, okay, what do I do now? Oh, you have a product that resolves that problem. So this is a big thing, I think, to take from this launch. Think about what comes just before your customers, your ideal customer wants to buy your product, and deliver that to them free and with all of your heart, and invest in that a lot. Don't think about the fact that they're not paying for it. It's all good stuff. You're giving, you're establishing your authority, you're connecting with people, you're engaging with them. It gives you a chance to show your personality. And I recommend the challenge because it just puts so much of what I just mentioned. Here are the things that I thought the challenge would do for me, and why I thought it was such a good fit, and why it clicked immediately once I heard about this idea. So it gave me an opportunity to give real, necessary, substantial value to my potential customers. And doing it for 5 days is long enough to really create a sense of community and give me an opportunity to present, my knowledge and my personality and my humor and my tell about myself things and my kind of genius areas where I really shine. That gave me an opportunity for that. But at the same time, it's not too long for people just to give up and quit. Obviously, it depends on your product. Some people require, some products or areas and industries require longer engagement, maybe several weeks even, but it has to be something that people will consume. You have to create something to attract them that they will actually use. It's not, if you give them too much and it takes them too long, even if it's free, they won't do it. Okay, so that was a big thing that the 5-day challenge allowed me to do. The other thing is that, just like I mentioned, it allowed me to interact and engage with my audience in a very, very organic and natural way. And I got a chance to present who I am, my philosophy, my business philosophy, my personal philosophy. It was really, really great, a great opportunity to do that. Also, it naturally leads to the product, which I mentioned before. And while I was not, it gave me the opportunity to talk about my product without actually pitching my product. So I didn't really talk about the product at all. Certainly not when they were signing up or when we started, but I was also not hiding it. And there were people that knew about it and found it through because they already got to the VIP wait list. So people started talking about it, and it was just very, very natural. I could talk about it without a problem because I was giving so much. And the challenge was in and of itself a product. It stood alone. It's a standalone product. I didn't have to sell my product, my launch product, for people to get value from the challenge. Do you get that, guys? It's very, very important. Try to completely separate these two events so that you don't have to be sleazy, you don't have to be salesy, you don't have to pitch anything. It will just be the step that is right before your product, and it will come so naturally to people that they would practically beg you to give it to them. I'm going to check what we're doing here and how we're doing in the chat box. And wait just a second, guys. Is this okay? Is this interesting? Are you getting it? Are we doing okay, guys? Let me know. What do I have here? How did the 5 days pan out? Did you put, webinar out each day or PDF materials? I'm going to show you. I'm sharing everything. You'll see it in a second. Donna, That's how you found me. Okay. Nice. You see? Woohoo! Yay. Okay, great, guys. So you'll see everything in a second. I share everything, and you will have access to it on this page later on. So now that I've had the idea of the strategy challenge, I had to start promoting it, and I had to do it very quickly. Because we were leading to about 2 weeks before the launch, and I had to grow my list really, really quickly. Okay, so the easiest way to do it usually is Facebook ads, but I have a lot of stuff to tell you about this. So first of all, the numbers. I ended up spending 1,100 Canadian dollars, which are 850 US dollars. It may sound like a lot to people, but in fact, I was planning on spending several $1,000s, and I'll explain why it didn't work actually. But $850 in 11 days, leading to the day that I opened the carts. Okay, so that was it. It's not bad at all. It was much less than I expected, and really helped with the overall profit. This is not a Facebook ads, webinar, and I'm not going to go over things, but I'll just tell you that I installed my Facebook tracking pixel on my website when I started the business, the No Hassle business, 6 months earlier. So I had some data. The pixel was working, and I could do some retargeting, but it was not enough data. It was really just a few hundred people, some of which visited the website, 5-6 months ago. So it wasn't enough to really retarget, but it was a start, and I recommend you do that. Put your pixel on your website immediately, so any person that comes in the months leading to your launch, you will be able to retarget them. But what I did do is I experimented for a few days with all kinds of audiences. I created relative narrow audiences, so I did it by country, because I had a lot of interest from both like North America and Australia and New Zealand, and it's just they respond differently, and the lookalike audiences are different for each country. So I did narrow that, and I often also narrowed it with demographics. Again, if this is too much for you now, don't worry about it. But the bottom line is that at the end, I had 2 best performing audiences. One was lookalikes of people who signed up for the challenge. So obviously there's a little catch-22 here, but as soon as I got enough people to sign up for the challenge, I was able to create lookalike audiences in Facebook, and then I narrowed them even more demographically, but I showed them the ads for the challenge, and they joined. So the first 2-3 days or whatever that I got a few dozen people to join, and got to about 100 probably, through all kinds of ways, through my customers, VIP lists, things like that. Then I was able to create a lookalike audience in Facebook ads, and I sent the ads to them. So that was the one that performed really well. And the visitors to my website in the last 180 days, people who signed up for my VIP list, customer list, I uploaded all of that to Facebook and showed them the ads, and they performed obviously the best, because these are people that basically know me. And so the conversion cost for those was pretty low. Okay, guys, just a second. I'm refreshing here. So budget, we talked about. The audiences, we talked about. Now I'll show you the ad. Because there are so many variables, my gut feeling was that the ad itself is really, really good, and I didn't play around with that at all. I think after a day or two, I got what I wanted, and I used that. I just played around with the audiences and tweaked that the entire time. I used a carousel ad. If you don't use it or never had a chance to use it, I recommend experimenting with it. I've had good experiences with carousel ads, and what I like about it is that it allows you to tell a whole story. It's like a mini sales letter, you can say, even, and I'm sharing all of it with you. So I grabbed some I grabbed some screenshots of the original ad. So this is how it looks, guys. This is what I wrote. It was very straightforward. 5 days, 30 to 45 minutes a day, absolutely free. Join my fun and action-packed 5-day membership site and online course strategy. Okay, plan your entire membership site or online course from start to finish. So I told them exactly what they're going to get. I told them exactly what the benefits and results will be. And of course, I emphasize that it's free and all they have to do is click here and sign up. Okay, so this was it's a carousel, right? So this is the first thing you see. Then this was the second one. So each visual allowed me to write another, more text. So I wasn't limited to 20% in total, because on each image I could put up to 20% text. So you could really say a lot here. And the engagement was really good with the ad. You can see 27 likes, 2 comments, 1 share. It's pretty good, but more importantly, people clicked and signed up. So you have access to all of this, and by all means, if it inspires you to do your own, you can copy whatever you want. I don't care. And I just want to say that you can see that I used really, really bright and colorful images, and I got a lot of response, very positive response about it. It really caught people's attention in their feed. So, it's just colors. Usually you don't see that. You usually see some kind of an image in the back or just one color. And this was something that I think this, was disruptive in their feed, and they stopped. The right people, they read and then they clicked on it. So I'm refreshing it again and drinking some water. Tell me how we're doing, guys. Meanwhile, I'll show you. This is a screenshot of my Facebook ads. So what you're seeing here, this is the total that I spent during those days. You can see I played around with all kinds of things, but then I closed them, I stopped them, and I really left only this one, the one that is called here 5-day challenge opt-in. And I got 174 conversions at an average cost of 5.63. Just so you know, in this group here, you can see it here. You can see this is the lookalikes audience. I got 117 conversions from them at 7.08 on average. This is Canadian, guys, so it's less in American. And the other group that performed really well that we talked about are visitors to my website, clients, people that signed up for the VIP challenge. So 51 people converted from those ads at a much lower cost. So the average ended up being 5.63 Canadian, which is about 4.3 US dollars per conversion. That meant that in total, I spent 980 Canadian dollars on the ads that really performed well, that I kept. But if you remember, the actual total I spent was $1,100, which means about $120 were spent on experimenting, ads that didn't work at the end, etc. So take that into account, guys. I spent $150 in total, $850 in total, and about an eighth of that was just experimenting and things that didn't work. So it's all part of doing Facebook ads. Not everything performs well. Okay, Tone, thank you for the feedback. Okay, Joe, good. I'm refreshing here. So again, you have access to all of this. So that was the ad, and the ad, it wasn't amazing in the sense that it wasn't a $1 conversion, and I want to talk about it. But what I did notice is that people are responding to it, and people that are clicking are also signing up. So I was not, too concerned about the cost per conversion, as long as I was getting a bunch of conversions every day, and I was happy, and I believed in my product, and I believed in the challenge, and I knew that I would be able to convert these people to buyers. So I didn't stop. A lot of people would stop their campaigns and say, oh, I'm not willing to pay $4.3, or even, you saw it got up to 7 Canadian, whatever, $6 per conversion. So I wrote this here. I want to talk about conversions. Forget about $1 conversions. I've been around for many, many years. I remember the days I started with Facebook ads, I think in 2008. That's how far I go with Facebook ads, or 2009 probably. I remember when the costs were so much lower. I used to do Google ads years ago. I remember when we could do 5-cent ads, seriously. Now it's, $3, $4, $5, and but this myth of $1 conversion still exists. So this is my position about it. It's a myth at this point, certainly for beginners, and by beginners I simply mean people like myself. Not that they don't know how to do Facebook ads, because I've been doing it for a long time, but that my business is new. I don't have a list, I don't have customers, and I'm starting from scratch. Because one other thing that a lot of people don't know is that the Facebook pixel and the conversion pixel becomes smarter with time. So the more conversions you have, if you continue to use the same pixel, the same conversion pixel, you will get better results in your next campaign, because Facebook gets smarter and says, oh, these are the people that actually converted. I'll show more of the ads to people that are similar demographically to those people. Okay, so forget about the $1 conversion, but you can even pay $20 per conversion if the return on investment makes sense. Okay, so that's all that matters. But obviously, as I mentioned before, there is a catch-22, a double catch-22 here. You need an audience in the first place to grow your audience, and then you need to spend a lot of money to get your costs down. Do you see how it's a catch-22? For those of you who read the book. Okay, I'm drinking some water. Let me know how we're doing. I'm refreshing my chat box. Yes, Tone, you're asking how I knew I could make them buy. I was confident that my product would blow their mind. I was confident about that. And I was confident that if I have enough people join the challenge, that it won't be just, a very sad and depressing place, but there will be a couple hundred people at least inside the group engaged for a few days. I knew that I could shine in that environment, and that I could show everything, and people would trust me, and then my product will naturally lead. Challenge will naturally lead to my product. So I simply had confidence in that. I didn't know how much I would sell, but I wasn't worried I'm going to lose money. I think that's really what it boiled down to. When I saw that the conversions were $6, $7 per conversion, I wasn't scared of that. I knew I'm going to recuperate that. I wasn't sure if I'm going to make a lot of profit, but I knew, give or take, I'll be able to recover these costs, and it will be okay. So that's what I meant. Where does that confidence come from? My mother and father. That's a whole different story about how I grew up and why I think my parents were the best parents in the world. I can do a webinar about that another day, Tom. Just a second. Nice, Sue. Sue says she was desperate to buy my product before the end of the challenge. That was what I wanted. That was my vision. But obviously, you'll see at the end, I'm talking about what I thought would happen and what actually happened. So I was wrong on a lot of things. Okay, let's continue. I also did free marketing for the challenge, okay? So in addition to the Facebook ads, I also promoted the challenge by emails to my little list, to my customers. I posted in groups where I'm allowed to do it, in my own group. And I also created a referral giveaway. That turned out to be really nice. So the giveaway, the idea was that the person who referred and the person who signed up because of a referral both could win my launch product for free. So obviously it's a digital product, and I can give it away without, it requires my time and effort and installation, but it's something that I could give. And if you can give your own product, I recommend using that as incentive to bring people to your webinars, to make them, work for you. In this case, do a referral giveaway. I'll show you the numbers in a second. Here, no, just a second. We'll find it. The numbers are further down. So, but the other thing you need to understand is that the Facebook ads go with the free marketing. So for example, people that signed up because they saw the Facebook ads ended up referring other people to me for free. So I couldn't have done one without the other. So in many ways, when you look at the numbers, the 174 signups that came through the ads, really, I got a total of 320 people to join the challenge. And I cannot point where the Facebook ads start and where they finish, and where the free marketing starts and where it finished, because they go hand in hand, okay? So make sure to do some free marketing as well. And this was all possible also because of the preparations I did in the pre-launch period, what we talked about, the social media posts, preparing my Facebook page, being very engaged in groups. So a lot of people just started asking me and, PMing me stuff. I did not take anyone off the groups, but sometimes they asked me questions. Okay, now let's talk about the sign up page, which I think is my proudest part of the entire process. I think this was the key to the success, and the numbers also show that. So I think that the default opt-in page for challenges or downloads or video series is just a visual in the background and an opt-in box. When people say, and the logic behind it is people don't have time, they know if they clicked on the ad, they want to sign up, and just give them, don't waste their time, just give them an opt-in box to put their name, and that's it. I disagree. I wanted the right people. I wanted them to know exactly what they're getting into, and I wanted them to be engaged and committed from the moment they sign up. And you can't do that just by throwing an opt-in box and expecting them to sign up and that's it. No, I wanted the right people, and I wanted them to know what I am going to deliver, so they're committed to the actual challenge. So I have attached and included the actual sign-up page in this page that you will get a link to later on. I'll just show you, I'll just scroll. I gave you everything. Do as you please with it. You can copy and get inspired by it. But I'll just show you what I did. I didn't put the box at all. I told them what it's all about. So it's a little like a sales page, because I was selling something for free, but I was selling it. I had to convince them to sign up, right? So, I'm talking about where they are now, so they can feel that I'm talking to them, it resonates with them. I told them, I put a picture of myself. I told them about myself here. And each time I just gave them a link here, join the challenge now for free, and that opened the opt-in box. But here there is no opt-in box. So further down, you can see I tell them about myself, why they should even listen to me and join. What I explain exactly what they're going to do and what they can expect. I answered their doubts by putting 3 questions here that they may ask themselves. In my case, like, I don't have 30 to 45 minutes a day to complete the daily challenges. What if I don't like the challenge? What if I need help? Okay, so I answered those, so they don't have to give themselves answers in their head. I give them the answers. And at the end, another opportunity to sign up. I want to show you the results because I'm super proud of this. According to Google Analytics, which is what I used, my sign-up page had 401 unique page views and 274 people signed up in total. That's 68% conversion. Woohoo! I was super excited about that. And from the referral giveaway, it was a similar page, but a different page. So I have 174 unique page views, 46 people signed up, and that's 26% conversion. And 274 plus 46 is 320 people, and that is the total number of people that signed up for the challenge. Guys, how are we doing so far, and what do you think about the sign up page? Yes, 68%, Tone. I know. Yes. I was happy to see. I knew the conversion was really good, but when I prepared for this webinar, I actually went back to all the numbers, and that was very exciting to see. No, Donna, I am not giving that page to to the customers, but what I mean is that you can, you know, use the copy, use the everything here, and just get inspired to create your own sales page. It's not difficult. This was all done in WordPress, of course, using the DV builder, which I love and I use for all my products. Okay, so guys, conclusion here, mid-webinar, not mid-webinar, we're getting close to the end, don't worry. But mid-webinar conclusion, the sign-up page and the ad have to work together hand in hand. And if you want to attract the right people, don't be afraid to, you know, to let them read, to tell them what to expect, because you'll get the right people. Even if the conversions will be lower, even the cost per conversion will be higher than you know, the industry standard or the myth of the industry standard. If they sign up after all of this, then you probably got yourself a really, really good person added to your list that you can now start to engage with long term, even if they don't get this product that you're launching. Okay. Is there someone we can get a link to look at the actual pages or slides? I can't see the text. Jamie, don't worry. This page that I'm showing the presentation on is an actual page on my website, and I'll send a link to everyone at the end. And just so you know, it's nohasslewebsite.com/launch-report. You can all go there. I just don't want you to move back and forth, you know, because I'm doing the presentation. But you can go and you'll have access to it. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the final challenge numbers. Okay, 275 people signed up for the challenge. 46 more came through referrals, a total of 320 people. The key, this is important, was not only to get them on the mailing list, but also into the Facebook group that I created for the challenge, because I knew that that's where all the fun will happen. That's where all the engagement will happen. Getting someone on the mailing list, you may never hear from them again. You don't know who they are, and they don't know who you are. So what I've done there, I wonder if I added, I thought I added those pages. Let me think if it's here. Yes, I think I have it. Yeah, I think I have it further down. I'll show you in the email section. What I did was I encouraged them on the thank you page, right after they signed up for the challenge, on the thank you page, immediately to join the Facebook group. And I also did that in the welcome email. So I ended up having over 250 people join the Facebook group where the challenge was going to take place, the actual homework of the challenge. And that means almost 80% of the people who signed up. That was awesome. So again, the numbers were not huge because the cost per conversion was higher than I thought, and I couldn't actually spend as much as I wanted. I didn't mention that before, because the results, I spent more money for a couple of days and the results remained the same. I think my audiences were narrow, so even though I spent more money, it was showing to the same people. So I ended up lowering my Facebook budget and pretty much maximizing my return on investment with that, and ending up with less signups than I originally thought. I'll show you what I originally thought I'm going to do and spend. But I got a few hundred people, 320 people to join the challenge, and 250 of them actually joined the group. So that was awesome. If you take those numbers into account, 320, and divide 850 by that, actually the cost per conversion is $2.65. So that's awesome. Oh, okay. Okay, let's talk now about the challenge page and Facebook group. Steph, or I'm not sure what your name is, you asked about it before. Here we go. Wait, I am refreshing here the page. So the challenge page was another page that I created on my website. And remember, everything also has my Facebook pixel on it. So people that visited the challenge, I could also retarget them, so that all goes hand in hand. And here's the page for the challenge itself. I'm showing you that. This is where people got to once they joined the challenge on day 1. They got the link to this page that I'll show you now. And every day I uploaded a new section to this page, the new daily challenge. So this is how it looked, okay? Every day they had this area that said day 1 challenge for membership builders and day 1 challenge for online course builders. Because I needed to cover both, it was quite complicated, but usually you would, in this case, you would just do one area. And I uploaded a daily video, which I recorded not in advance, but just the night before. And they had the assignment itself every day, and then they had a downloadable PDF worksheet. So this was day 1, and on day 1 they only saw that. On day 2 they got an email telling them day 2 is uploaded, and they then got this area, and they had the daily video, the assignment, and the worksheet, and so on. Day 3, day 4, and day 5. So that was the actual page for the challenge, and I uploaded new stuff every day. So they didn't have access to all 5 days from the get-go, but at the end of the 5 days they had access to everything, and I kept it live for a week longer until I closed the cart for the product. Okay. I wanted to tell you something about this. Yes, what I did here, the actual assignment was on this page, but the homework they were going to post, and I posted the link on a specific thread in the Facebook group. So that was the great, part of it. The actual work was done here, but posting the homework had to be done in the Facebook group. And that's the Facebook group where I had 250 people that obviously not everyone is engaged, but I want to say that a core of about 50 to 100 people were quite engaged, were doing their homework, were PMing me, were posting their homework, sharing stuff, getting feedback. And that was really where I was able to give so much value in the group itself. Okay, so that worked really, really well. Let me see. Yes, I wrote here, I responded, unless I missed something. I responded basically to every single post and homework that was posted in the group. I gave feedback. I corrected things. I suggested things. I gave encouragement. I'd send them back to do some more homework if needed. I was gentle, but also wanted them to actually get something out of it. So I wasn't just, oh yeah, great work. When I needed to say something and they needed to improve on it, I did that. And I think that's my style. And again, if it resonates with people, great, those are my peeps. If it doesn't, then they're not my my tribe, and that's fine, and they can find another solution if they don't like it. But those 5 days inside the group really allowed me to show who I am, to show my commitment to them, how appreciative I am of them joining and doing the homework, how much I want them to succeed. And that was all without ever mentioning it wasn't, I shouldn't say I never mentioned it, but it wasn't important to me at all if they ever buy my product. When I was there, when I was answering them, it did not lead necessarily to my product. In fact, I designed it so people that already had a platform to put their course or their membership site, even those people that had the solution, I wanted them to really, really benefit from the product, from the challenge. So that was very big, and I worked a lot and long hours. Like, I sleep very little, let's just say that. Guys, I'm refreshing the chat box to see if you have any questions. Let me know how we're doing so far. Okay. So far, nothing new. Okay, we're getting closer, guys. We're almost there. Emails. Let's talk about emails. I'm not going to give you here all my emails. The bottom line is that I didn't bombard, at least I didn't think I was bombarding people. They got a welcome email once they signed up. Congratulations, you're now officially a 5-day membership at Core Strategy Challenger. And I asked them to join the group, like I told you before. They then got one email the day before the challenge started to remind them. And I also took the opportunity to introduce myself with some interesting facts about myself. And then every day they got the daily challenge, and it looked like this. I said a few things about yesterday's challenge or what to expect for that day. I gave them the link again to the challenge page that I just showed you. And that was it. The only other thing I did was on day 4, I sent probably another email, or on the daily email, I told them about the webinars, the live webinars that I'm going to do on day 5. And that was really the official day that I introduced my product. For those that have never heard about it before, or didn't catch in the group anything about it, or didn't check out my website or VIP page, this was the first time they heard that I actually have a product. But I wrapped it in a webinar, a live webinar that included, let me see if I have it here. It was going to include, the webinar was going to include a summary of the 5 days of the challenge. So that was, immediate value again, even for those who didn't get a chance to finish everything or just wanted to recap. I then was going to do a live demo of my product, which was exactly what they needed to know about on day 5 of the challenge. So I obviously designed it that way. And I also did a giveaway for my product to get people to come to the live event. And I opened the cart. So that was what happened in the webinar, okay? So that is what Bushra calls the launch trigger. But before I talk about the launch trigger, I'm going to read here what Glenna wrote. I'm trying to keep up on. Yes, Glenna, how did I keep on top of everything? First of all, I think I didn't necessarily keep on top of everything, but I think the big thing was that I came prepared in general for this entire month of launching. Like I said, I had about 80% of everything prepared in advance. The part of the challenge was something that I decided on a little late, so that took a lot of my time. But I'm a nerdy person. I usually don't leave stuff for the last moment, and I had the daily challenges all ready in advance, so I just had to do a daily video and upload the new section, things like that. It wasn't like I had to think about it that day or the night before. So I tried to be on top of everything in advance, and then do the actual work, things I couldn't do in advance. For example, answer people in the group and all of that. I tried to focus on that during the actual days of the launch. And I sleep very little, and I have an awesome husband that helped me with the kids and just took over whatever I couldn't do. Okay, I'm refreshing here and I'm going to continue. So the launch trigger is the actual event when you open the cart. And this is a big part of the sold out launch framework that we talked about before by Bushra Azar. And what I did there in my case was 2 webinars. What I told you about, I had to do twice live webinars because I had a lot of people from New Zealand and Australia and a lot of people from North America and Europe. And I really wanted everyone to get a chance to be on the live event so they can win a free my free product, and so they can take advantage of my fast action bonuses. Okay, so let's talk about those. I had 4 points of urgency during the launch. Again, this is something from the sold out launch. What does it mean, point of urgency? If you just let people, you open the cart and then you close the cart and there's nothing in between, you don't really give people any reason to buy early or to make a decision, and people just don't make decisions if they don't have to. So I've created 3 urgency points, and well, the doors actually closing is the last one. But I had a bonus number 1 that was available for people who bought during the live webinar. So this was available for anyone that bought before I finished the live webinars, both of them. Then I gave them another full day to buy, and if they bought by the end of the second day, they got bonus number 2. Now, anyone that bought early, so anyone that bought on the webinar, obviously also got bonus 2 and bonus 3. So people that bought during bonus 2 got bonus 3 as well. So the third urgency point was a surprise mid-launch bonus. Now, I thought about several ideas of what to do, but what I ended up doing was people really liked the people really liked the challenge page. No, let me think for a second. I can't remember. No, the challenge page was bonus number 2. What I did was I gave a VIP page, because my product is actually a website. I added a special page for the people, the VIP waitlist page, and that was my bonus number 3, and that ended the day before the doors closed. So I got another group of people to order just before, and then the last people bought on the last day just before the doors closed. So here is the sales page. I'm giving you my entire sales page. It looks a little bit like the signups page, because that was also a type of sales page. So here is my sales page. It's different. It goes over my actual product. What will you get with your no hassle membership? It's a sales page. Again, you can go over it and enjoy it and copy and do whatever you want. Then I had the buy now buttons, but here I did something interesting that I wasn't sure how people will respond to. My main product for the launch was my membership and course platform, okay? But I also have my evergreen product, which is called No Hassle Website. So what I did, without talking about it at all, without explaining to people what it is, without confusing anyone, I simply offered my launch product and also my launch product with my regular No Hassle website for a discount and a special bonus if you bought both of them. And it turned out that a lot of people bought both of them, and that really increased the average value of each sale. So you'll see the numbers in a second, but that surprised me. I didn't expect so many people would do it, because I did not promote in any direct way my regular No Hassle website product. Okay, then as usual, you always have to address their fears and questions. So I had a big FAQ section on the sales page. Very, very important area is the testimonials. People need to believe that if it wasn't enough what they experienced in the challenge, they needed to believe that they can do it and that the product will deliver. So I was lucky enough, again, because I already have customers, I was able to get testimonials, but also I was able to get testimonials during the launch itself. So as soon as people bought and posted about it, let me give you an example. Here, Barry actually wrote a post why I gave Netta $99. This is after he bought the challenge product. I asked him for permission and immediately put this here. So I already have testimonials about the product I'm selling. Okay, guys, does this all make sense? Or am I talking to myself at this point? So you have access to all of this. I ended up adding to the sales page the video, the replay of the webinar. So people that couldn't attend the live webinar, I added that to the sales page. So I'm telling you all of this to show you that this is a dynamic thing. So I didn't just create the sales page and left it for the 8 days that my cart was open. I added the live webinar here. I marked the bonuses when they were no longer available. I added testimonials that were new and fresh from people who bought the actual product that I was selling during the launch. Okay, makes sense. Do you have an assistant VA to help you? Joanne, I do not have a VA. I know I should. I have my husband who doesn't help me with the business, but he helps me with everything else. He's amazing. Do it without them. It sounds like a a bar mitzvah speech here or an Oscar award, but really I couldn't have done it without him. He allowed me to do it all, and he was very as committed as I was to the entire thing, and so were the kids. I was like, don't talk to me, kids, I can't talk to you today, bye-bye. That was how my life was for those days. Okay, so you get all the sales page here, so enjoy that, and let's talk totals. Here we go. The total sales was 8,279. This is US dollars from 65 buyers. Here is my WooCommerce report. You can see this is interesting. By the way, the numbers are not exactly right because a couple of people made mistakes. They then bought something else. I had to refund, but this is almost exactly accurate. But what's interesting about it is you can see that on the first day, the day I had the 2 webinars, half of the sales happened on that day. So that leads me to believe 2 things. First of all, that I created a lot of hype and people were super, super excited to buy on the day that the cart opened. And that was for me a great sign. And that really kept me high the entire duration of the launch. And the other thing is that the bonuses that I offered were meaningful and made a difference to people. So half of the sales were done during the first 2, the first 24 hours, the first 2 webinars. Then before the end of the second urgency bonus, I got another $2,000 here, more or less. And then the following day, there was very little, relatively. And then on the last day, again, a little surge in sales. So this is how it looks. I've never seen another launch data, but I'm going to assume that it's similar in many cases. So I think the first day, if you create the right hype, then you should see your best day there. And then maybe at the end, a bigger surge. But I mentioned it in the emails. I was here, I say, overall, I did not bombard with emails. My nudges were very gentle and non-aggressive. It's not my style to be aggressive, and I didn't want to start sending sleazy emails to people. Okay, how are we doing, kids? Yes, I did everything myself. It's true, Joanne, I know. I sleep very little. That is my secret. I don't need a lot of sleep, and I take midday naps so I can work really, really late and wake up early and do stuff. Okay, Nicola, you'll have the replay. You can watch the end. Okay, we're almost done, guys. Expectation versus reality. I was completely wrong with my predictions. I have never been so wrong, I think, about anything. Just what I expected. I thought that the cost per paid sign up would be $2 to $4, and I thought I was conservative, and that I would have a conversion to buyers of only 2 to 6%. I really didn't know what to expect, but I thought, I won't get 10%. So I said, let's go conservative, and I'll have, best case scenario 6%. Based on those numbers, I was ready to spend a few $1,000s to get 15 to 2,000 signups. I was totally wrong, as you now know. I ended up getting 320 signups for a higher price, but the catch was that I spent much, much less on Facebook ads, $850, and my conversion, if we look at the numbers, I had 65 people buy out of 320 people that signed up, and that is 20% exactly. So my conversion from signups to actual customers was 20%. And because all these numbers were wrong, but my costs per conversions were higher, but my conversion rate to customers was so much higher than I expected, up making sales of 8,279, expenses 850, for a total of 7,429 US dollar profit. And I was never so happy to be so wrong. Okay, so that for me, that was very surprising, and that was really what I wanted to share with you today. All this data is to tell you how wrong I was and how many things I think that we're told or that we hear repeatedly by launches, they just don't represent the reality of people that are starting. Even if you're super tech savvy, even if you know your Facebook ads, even if you have a great product, you can't get those results that they talk about because you're just starting from scratch. Okay. And you know, even more than the money, I'm still so excited about this launch because everything worked and it clicked, and it was as I was hoping, you know, as I was dreaming in my bed that would really happen. That's what happened. So although the numbers were wrong, the actual process and what I did worked. So that was very exciting. Conclusions, guys, this is the end. Let's see. While I didn't have a list per se, yes, this is what we talked about at the beginning. While I didn't have a real list, I didn't start from zero. I spent months, in my case, even a couple of years in some of the groups, just giving value, guys, just being visible, giving value, being out there for people with no real agenda other than good karma and visibility. Okay, so my conclusion here is spend a few months giving value in groups, increasing your visibility, giving your product and service for free so you have customers and testimonials. Don't start from scratch. Don't be, your launch shouldn't be the first time that your product is in use or that your customers are seeing what you offer. Okay, the challenge for me, I think that was huge in the success of the launch. And as I mentioned before, I think the secret to that was that I was able to identify the step that comes just before my product. And I gave that for free, and I invested in that, and it resonated with people. And then it led them to buy my product without me having to pitch and be sleazy about it. Okay, so conclusion: identify something your ideal customer must have now, use that to attract them to you, and engage with them over a period of a few days to build trust. Okay, next, Facebook ads and sign up page. So we talked about, despite the cost being high, it doesn't matter if it makes sense on your overall return on investment and you're confident that you can convert people to customers, then don't worry about that. Do what you need to do. Expect to get $4 to even $10 per conversion if you bring them to the right place that will lead them to your product. So, and wait, don't forget our awesome sign up page. Okay, you want to attract the right people that are committed, then make them show you that they're committed on the sign up page. The last thing is the product. This, I don't know if I can help you a lot with, but really your product has to be super awesome. I know I sound like Trump. It just has to be really, really good and awesome, and not like what other people are doing. Find a way to differentiate your product if it's not clearly different. You can be the secret sauce, but then put yourself out there and show them why working with you or buying from you is what will make all the difference. So those are the 4 elements that I think contributed more than anything else to the success. And now I am going to go back to the shared screen. Stop sharing. Tell me if you can see me, guys. I'm back. Whew. It wasn't too bad, an hour and 20 minutes. I'm refreshing here, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I am here to answer anything you want. And tell me what you think, a little bit of feedback. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you learn anything? Were you surprised about anything? Write me in the box. Hello. Okay, yay. You are Stephanie, yay. You can see me, that's great, yay. Wait, I'll hold it here so my face is still here. Yes, Tiffany, being transparent is my style in all my businesses, by the way. It doesn't matter, it's just money and numbers, what do I care? Just a second. Oh. Tone, I see you asked 20%. The 20% conversion was, I ended up having 65 people buy my product out of 320 people that signed up for the challenge. I consider them my signups. That's it. They included many of my customers in them. That is it. That's my list. 320, and 65 out of that is exactly 20%. Yeah, Trump, I know. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, great, Nick. Nice. Well done. Thanks again. You have to sign off. Okay. It's been great. I look forward to watching the replay. Digest it all. Okay, guys. So not only are you going to get the replay, I'm going to email everyone the link to the page that I was going through for the presentation, where you can see everything and you'll have access for it forever, I guess. I'm not going to take it off. Okay, great, guys. Okay, Tone, you were here to hear the answer. That's good. Okay, guys, any other questions while I drink? Bye, Stephanie. Yay. Good luck, everyone, with your own launches. Feel free to ask me questions later on. My relationship with you does not end when this webinar ends. You can email me. You can join my No Hasslers group, which is open for everyone, and interact with me there or through my website, whatever you want. So, okay, Sue, great. Yasmin, I liked very much that one. It was summarized nicely, the SOL strategy. It put things in perspective in terms of performance and numbers. Great. Woohoo. Yasmin, great. Sue, wonderful. Carlise, what do I recommend giveaways similar to King Sumo? I don't know. Like, I'm not familiar with all the best plugins for that. My personal giveaways, I did. So for the signups, for the referral signups, I actually had the signups name and the referral name. So I ended up having 46 people, and I just used random.org to pick up a number, and those were the winners. So that's how I did that. And during the webinars, I did funny giveaways where I thought of a number, I wrote it down, and then people had to guess, and the first person that guessed the number got my product for free, and I showed them the piece of paper so they know it's really the number. That was fun. People were going crazy writing all their numbers. It was nice. What do you mean, Joe? Neither do you what? What are we talking about here? I'm confused. I don't know. Joanne? Is it Joanne? Joe? What do I call you? I'll wait. Okay, bye. All good. Okay, good, Carlise. So you understand. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to let you go. Let me know if you need anything. All the best. Good luck. And assuming you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see that people are watching the replays, I will share in the future as well any other stuff that I do. Bye-bye. Thank you.